Savage Recovery back for another video, guys. Got a good one. It's the George Floyd case. They just released the body footage. If you guys want to email me, send me topics, savageredrecovery@gmail.com. If you guys want to see my photography, hit me up on IG at savage_red_studios. Also, my Cash App is in the description. So is my Patreon. So is my T store. And you guys can hit me up on the Facebook at Savage Red Recovery. Let's get into it. I know my savages are waiting to hear what I have to say on this one. Floyd was gonna die regardless. He already had heart disease, and he was taking an upper and a downer, and those things together put your heart out of sync. And if your heart is already weak, it isn't hard for you to die from that. Fentanyl alone can kill you just from doing it. It's hard on your heart, and it's also hard on your respiratory system. Him also being super excited with the adrenaline pumping through his body with all the drugs in his system easily could have made his heart fail, especially since he had heart disease. Had he just gotten in the car and cooperated, he probably would have seen a doctor or a nurse by the time he got to the jail, or they would have just immediately taken him to the hospital because they knew he was on drugs and he was acting erratic. Him acting the way that he did prolonged it, and because he was already dying, the foaming on his mouth in the car is an indicator that he was already in that state where he was overdosing / his heart was failing. So with all that being said, the knee on his neck didn't kill him. And if you put your knee on the back of someone's neck, you're not pressing on their windpipe. If you have your knee on someone's windpipe, that will also stop them from breathing. That's why if you ever look at like a Muay Thai clinch in MMA, they grab the back of the neck and they clench and they pull down. That holds the person still. It doesn't stop them from breathing. If you've ever choked your girlfriend during intercourse, when you grab the front of the neck and squeeze, you can see them start to get a lack of oxygen. The front of your neck is where your windpipe is, and that's where your oxygen goes through your throat. Your blood is on the sides of your neck. So having a knee on the back of your neck, your spine's there. It's not compressing anything when you have your knee on someone's neck on the back, because there's the bone structures there stopping that. So anyone that wants to say that they don't like the knee, then get the law changed, get the policy changed, but don't say that he was cruelly killed because of the knee, because that's not what happened. He overdosed from drugs and his heart gave out. That's the issue. Don't say the cops were cruel and killed him, because that's not what happened. Like, the problem that we have here in America is a lot of people like to overstate something, and when they overstate it, they make things seem worse than they really are, just so that they can get it to fit their narrative, to get their point across, to be able to act as if they're winning. Just like hands up, don't shoot. When it came to Mike Brown didn't have his hands up. He didn't say don't shoot. He tried to take the cop's gun. Just like Eric Gardner was put in a headlock from behind, and as soon as the cop got him to the ground, he went down, and he let go of the chokehold. He didn't choke him to death. So people want to say stuff because they want to paint an image in a certain way, but it's not the truth. And when you don't tell people the truth, you're spreading a lie and you're misleading people, and that is worse than what you're trying to do. Because if that cop killed him, all right, then he should be punished. But he didn't set out to kill that guy. He was being polite the whole time in that. George just didn't want to. He didn't want to cooperate. Like, that's just what it comes down to. That cop was very patient with him. He didn't shoot him. He didn't do anything to him. George Floyd wanted to be put on the ground. He didn't want to be in the car. Like, they weren't being dicks to him. The other two people in the car were not acting crazy, and they didn't get put on the ground. They didn't die. The only person that died was the guy that was acting crazy and had heart failure from drugs. So all this rioting for Black Lives Matter and all this bullshit is just people using this to gain power and money. Like, they're just using the cause to benefit themselves. They're not doing anything. Like, they're not doing anything. And the reason those cops got arrested was because that was a political thing, because they thought if they charged the police, one, the prosecutor's a Democrat, and the prosecutor was doing this for an agenda. Okay, it helped push the narrative, just like the prosecutors had the video of Floyd, and they didn't release it. They didn't let the cops release it. No one wanted to release it. They wanted people to riot, and they wanted to use this against Trump, is what it comes down to. But at the end of the day, the narrative is being painted to make people angry and make them to do stupid stuff for other people's benefit, and the people that are doing it don't realize that. Just like when Black Lives Matter was started over, I believe it was Mike Brown. That was a lie that was told, and people did the same thing. They rioted, and what happened is, by this lie, there's a lot of black people that have died. There's like 35 black people and protesters that have been shot and killed. There's been multiple businesses of blacks that have been burnt to the ground and destroyed. Like, the neighborhoods that black people live in with a lot of these riots is devastated. This lie benefited the elite and their ideas that they wanted to get pushed for their benefit, but the people that it was supposed to be helping, they're left devastated. They've lost their businesses, their cities, family members, and that's the real damage. Floyd was a violent man. He wouldn't cooperate, and he died from heart failure from drugs. It's that simple. You guys tell me what you guys think down in the comments. Like, share, subscribe, help me with the algorithm. If you guys want to help support the channel, my Cash App is down in the description. You guys can always email me at savageredrecovery@gmail.com. Alright guys, stay savage.